thought I was being strong for our family, but I did not realize I was quietly pushing my husband away. I am 7 months pregnant, and for the past 4 months, I had been working close to 60 hours every week. When my husband lost his job in April, I told myself I would carry the weight until he found something new. At the same time, I was leading a high-pressure product launch at work. My supervisor made it clear that if I wanted real security during maternity leave, I had to prove I was essential before stepping away. I took that message seriously. I stayed late. I answered weekend calls. I volunteered for extra responsibility. I convinced myself that this sacrifice was temporary and necessary. Most evenings, I walked through the door around 9. He usually cooked dinner. I would eat quickly, shower, and fall asleep almost immediately. He often tried to start conversations while I was half asleep. I remember hearing his voice, but not truly listening. I kept promising that once the project ended and the baby arrived, I would slow down and reconnect. I believed love could wait. When I asked about his job search, he grew defensive. I would come home and see him on the couch, and frustration would rise in me, even if I tried to hide it. Eventually, I stopped asking questions. Instead, I worked harder, telling myself that financial stability mattered more than uncomfortable conversations. Our anniversary was August 6th. That morning, I suggested we stay home for dinner because I was too exhausted to go out. Maybe we could watch a movie afterward. He paused before agreeing. There was something heavy in his expression, but I ignored it because I was late for work. That night, I returned home at 9:15. The house was completely dark. No dinner, no note. I assumed he had stepped out. I reheated leftovers and went to bed. At 2 in the morning, I woke up and noticed he still was not home. When I checked my phone, I saw 11 missed calls and a long message. He wrote that he felt invisible, that our marriage had been reduced to brief tired exchanges, that he spent our anniversary alone while I worked late again. He said he needed time to think and was staying with a friend. I called right away, but it went to voicemail. I apologized through texts and asked him to come home so we could talk. The next afternoon, he replied that he needed a few days. A few days turned into 8. Finally, on August 14th, I drove to his friend's apartment. I needed to see him face to face. When his friend opened the door, he looked nervous. After awkward small talk, I asked directly where my husband was. He told me my husband had left for Ireland on August 9th. I could not process it at first. Then his friend explained everything. Weeks earlier, my husband had shared how distant we had become. Together, they planned a surprise anniversary trip to Ireland. They stayed up late booking last-minute flights for the evening of August 6th. He rented a small cottage in Galway, made reservations at restaurants I once said I wanted to try, and scheduled a maternity photo session along the cliffs because he knew it would mean something to me. On the morning of our anniversary, he planned to tell me, but I left early. That evening, he texted the airport gate number and waited. I never saw the message because I was in a meeting and worked until 10. The tickets were non-refundable. When I did not arrive, he went alone. Now I am sitting in our bedroom, holding a printed itinerary filled with details he carefully chose for us. Every reservation, every view, every thoughtful plan was meant to bring us closer before our baby changes everything. He was not escaping our marriage. He was trying to save it, and I was too consumed by responsibility to notice.